I'm Rafal Farjo. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of EyeCRO. We're a preclinical contract research organization that focuses on ophthalmology. The vast majority of the work we do is to help companies and institutions understand how their therapeutics may work on certain clinical pathologies. So we employ what's kind of the standard model that's been developed over the past couple of decades called the laser-induced choroidal neovascularization model. And what we're doing is we're creating a wound in the context of the eye. And by shooting a laser and creating a hole in the Brooks membrane, we're allowing the choriocapillaris to invade, create this neovascular event that we can then image and assess the effect of different test agents and modalities on regressing that neovascularization and helping to prevent further pathology. We work with a number of different organizations. So we worked with anywhere from an academic professor that wants to generate data for their own basic research, to startup companies, to venture capital companies that are vetting technologies, to big pharma that are working on new therapies. And I think it's a really neat opportunity for me personally, because I get to see what a lot of people are working on, and a lot of the exciting advances that are being thought of to push forward into ophthalmology. The first thing we do is we talk about the science of the model, tell them exactly what we're creating. I think one thing that's really critical to understand is that when you're doing preclinical studies and you're trying to model a disease, it's very difficult to model everything that's in the disease. So, for example, with the wet macular degeneration model, we're not creating wet AMD, we're creating a neovascular event in the eye that looks similar to what someone with wet AMD might have. And so we kind of take the time to talk through the science and make sure that that's going to be the right model for them, the right biochemical pathways, the right molecular pathways are activated where they would expect to see some activity. And then we design an experiment, talk about what that experiment's going to be like, look at some historical data, and hash out exactly what they want to do, and then build a protocol around that. Other diseases outside of macular degeneration, like for example inherited retinal diseases, you can model. Those are models, a little bit more models of some of the human diseases, especially when you talk about some of the great transgenic mice that have been created over the years, things like the P23H rat that harbors a mutation in rhodopsin. Matt LaVale created that a couple decades ago, and that's you have an animal that has the same mutation humans have that presents with disease very similar to what humans get. And I think in those kind of cases, it's really, you can do some really neat studies to understand what you would expect an effect in your clinical population.